The existence of aliens is a common topic of discussion when you talk about the universe and just what's going on around there. But like when they say aliens, they're always thinking of like this guy right here. Just so then I was theorizing. I was like, well, what if it's not that guy? What do aliens actually look like? And then while I was thinking about that, I looked it up, and then literally the exact same day, NASA just found an alien on Mars. They found this rock right here. It's got like these little dots on it, and those dots are actually evidence that there was life on there at some point. I mean, there's like little bacteria things, little like organism guys just sitting on the rock. So like, while they did find life, we don't know if it's probably dead. It's definitely that one they found was dead. But like, there could be some chilling about in the underneath of the Mars. I don't know. There could be some somewhere. Yeah, and also like the life form they did find was like it's like a little organism. It's like nothing. You're not going to be having a party with an alien anytime. So you're not going to be like hitting the boogie with Mr. Damatukasita. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen anytime soon. So we're going to need to dig a bit deeper. And you might be wondering, if this doesn't look like an alien that we normally see, how do we know it's an alien? Well, that's because an alien is not just a dude with a big forehead and black eyeballs. It's just any life that doesn't exist in the world. It's just not from Earth. It's just any life that's not from Earth is an alien. So like, I know it's not a very fun alien, but it's an alien. Now, what we originally thought is that aliens could only live with some strict conditions, like in the same way that life lives on Earth, there has to be very strict conditions. Then after they found this alien on Mars, the alien dude at NASA, the CEO, was just like, yeah, we just don't care about that anymore. We just, like, it could be living anywhere. If it's living on Mars, it could be living anywhere, we don't really have to live by those rules that we made anymore.
Hey, this is post-editing Angus here. I have no idea what I was talking about in that previous clip. It's written in my notes for this video that that was apparently said by the NASA guy, but I watched the entire 40-minute interview and try and find the clip of him, and I cannot find him saying it. I have no idea where it is. I think I just lied for no reason.
So, all of that information that I spent my time researching is now effectively irrelevant as long as that NASA dude is correct. So, that is really unhelpful, but I did the research, so you are going to hear it anyway because I do not care. So to be considered alive on Earth, there's like 5 things you need to live by. You need to be able to respire, so breathe. I can do that. Grow, I can do that. I had my growth spurt this year. I'm getting big and tall now. Need to be able to excrete, so reproduce. I do that one all the time. I know that one good. I'm definitely alive. Metabolize, that's like eating and stuff, burning calories, being calorific.
Yippee!
Digesting food, and move. And I can also move, as I'm currently demonstrating. But you also need to be able to respond to the environment. So like, if the wind's blowing, you put on a jacket, which I actually did because the wind is blowing outside, but I'm inside, so I think I do need to work on that one a little bit. So our original theory before the NASA dude came along was like that was how you had to live. You had to do all those things, and then they're like, well, there's a criteria for each of those. Like, respire needs to be like oxygen or something, and then this dude was just like, no, that's just not true anymore. You can breathe whatever you want. I don't care. I don't even care if you're breathing. If you're just a rock, you're alive now. I actually don't care. So because we don't know if alien life has to follow the same rules we have on Earth, scientists kind of just like give them a bit more leeway, that you can use alternative solvents. So that's just like using liquids other than water. Like, they originally thought, oh, you need water to live. And then they were like, maybe you don't. Maybe you need methane or ammonia or something. Just something that's not water. But as long as you're doing something with a solvent, I guess. And also, they could be different chemistry. So, like, everything on Earth is carbon-based. They could just be, like, not carbon-based. I don't know, just something different. Just broader horizons. That's pretty much the general of everything. Different energy sources, so not using oxygen or the sun. They could just use something else, like heat or something. I don't know these days. Also, might not need cells. Like, we have cells. Diddy got a cell? No, that's bad. Yeah, they could live in different conditions to what we're thinking of, because we were thinking like, oh, they have to live in a Earth is the perfect distance from the sun until we have the perfect temperature so we can support life. And then now they're just like, we actually don't care about that. He could live in 10 billion degrees heat for all I care, as long as he is kicking about. They also might use a different genetic system, like we use DNA and RNA to transmit information through our bodies, kind of thing. They might just not do that. They might talk to each other like modest human beings. I don't know, like before they're even born, they're just like zoing, zoing, zoing. So now we're going to go through, where could life exist? You know, if it's not just on Earth, we've just found it on Mars, where could it exist? The first place is it's Mars. Okay, the first place we thought life was going to be was Mars. You know, it's a big rock. It's like 3.7 billion years old apparently. That's how it was carbon dated to. And then I found out the carbon dating's probably not even real anyway, so that's fun to learn about. The long carbon chains, you can find them through like fatty acids, and fatty acids to exist, there has to have been life there at some point. So they were kind of like, well, for us to be able to date this, like, kind of had to have been something kicking about, you know? Other like ice moons like Europa, Enceladus, and Enceladus, and Titan. Yeah, Europa has an ocean beneath the surface. It's like an ice planet. They're all ice planets. So if there's ice, there's water. So, you know, if you got water, you might have life. Yeah, and Titan has another subsurface ocean, so an ocean that's under the surface, and that has like water and ammonia in it. So as we said before, you know, they might not need water, they might need ammonia or methane. So could be an alien in the ammonia. You never know. And we got Kepler negative. No, that's not negative. Kepler negative 452b. They really didn't like 2B pencils, so they had to do negative 452B pencils. They're different. It is known as Earth's cousin though, because it's like kind of similar to us. It's in like the same habitable zone of the sun. Like they're like the good distance away, so we have the good temperature, and also it could have water there as well. So that's like the number one kind of thing, but it's like really far away. So we haven't looked at it. We haven't sent Neil Armstrong out there just yet. Proxima Centauri B. That orbits the closest star to the sun, which is 4.2 light years away. So that's pretty close. Yeah, it's in the habitable zone. You know, it might have water. That's kind of what they just say for all the planets. It's a good temperature and it has water. That was the original criteria before the NASA dude came and just like said that he didn't care anymore. He just wanted to find life, I guess. I don't know. In the TRAPPIST-1 system, there are three of those Earths are in the habitable zone of the sun. And they could have an ocean in them. So again, we got the habitable zone in the ocean. Life or something, I don't know.
Yep.
We got the LHS 1140b. So again, another pencil hater. We got it's a rocky Earth, but it's like really big. It's like way bigger than our Earth. So they could solve overpopulation with how they're kicking about. And yeah, again, they could have water. It's the same thing every time. There's a planet in a good range from the sun has water, is a life-sustaining planet. So now you might be asking, if the said planets are a couple light years away, how do we even look at it and know that there's anything lively going on the planet? Well, one of those methods is the James Webb Telescope. You've probably heard of it before. But that can actually detect gases. I don't know how a telescope can see the gas, but it can. It can see things like water and carbon dioxide, methane, oxygen, and potentially dimethyl sulfide. I don't know how it can potentially do it. It can sometimes do. They can't decide if it can or it can't yet. I don't know. The guy who was looking through this telescope might have been drunk. I don't know. So you can use the James Webb Telescope. We just got rovers. Like, we didn't find the rock. The rover found the rock with the life on it. So rover for doing that one. Big up the rover. And light, actually. Light will be a big factor for how we can find things, because the elements actually absorb the light. So obviously when the light is absorbed, it's not being emitted. So when we look at it, and then it just doesn't have like the orange wavelength, we're like, oh, well, that means it's probably being absorbed by this element. So we can kind of figure out what the planet's made out of, even though it's like way over there. So I'm going to go through some arguments for the existence of aliens. You know, there's a lot of people, a lot of believers in the aliens. I'm one of them. I'm there thinking that there's got to be some out there. This was pre-Mars. I didn't just jump on the bandwagon. I thought this for a long time. So I'm going to go through some for and against arguments. So for the for team, we got the vastness of the universe, because this was my main argument. If there's like a bajillions of planets kicking about, surely there's another one that's got life on it. We can't be the only dudes kicking about, you know. And also we've already found a lot of planets that are in that zone of where water could be, and they're in a good temperature just like Earth, so there's probably life there. Another one is extremophiles. That sounds really bad, but it's just like, you know, we've found life in really unexpected places on Earth, like in frozen places and like acid lakes and stuff. Not like acid, but like acidic stuff. So like, if life can exist in harsh places on Earth, it can probably exist in harsh places in other planets, you know. And the Drake equation, it's just a equation. It just like kind of guesses how many civilizations might exist in the galaxy based off some numbers. And yeah, pretty much everyone agrees that number is not 0. So that is a point for the aliens. They exist. UFO sightings, that is another for argument. You know, not like UFO sightings, but so like we got some people claim to have seen some UFOs and some unexplained things, like the wow signal in 1977. It's like, how did that even happen? You know, we're just like, if we can't explain how it happened, it was an alien that did it. Now we got some against arguments, so we're not just all for the aliens. We're going to see some bad versions. We got the Fermi paradox. So if intelligent life is common, why haven't we seen more evidence of intelligent life? You know, because like, we can't be the only people that are really smart. Like, because if we're figuring out how to go into space, surely there's another person that's figured out how to go into space, you know? We can't be the first. Also, we got the lack of evidence. Like, we just haven't had anything to confirm it yet, which was true until a couple of weeks ago when they found it on Mars. So that is kind of debunks that one, but you know, we're still looking at it. Then we got the anthropic principle. I'm going to be honest, I don't really understand this one, but the note I have written down here is that some argue life seems special here because we're the ones observing it. The odds of life starting may be so small that Earth could be the only case. So I think that kind of just means like, it's such a low chance that that life just started here, that we could just be the only one if it's so rare. But like, in my head, it's kind of like, well, it's not just humans that are life on Earth. There's plants and things. There's a bunch of other life. So, you know, that could be occurring somewhere else, like it is on Mars. So in conclusion, to wrap everything up, yeah, I do think aliens exist. I think that there's definitely some aliens out there. You know, they could be billions of light years away on the other side of the galaxy. No, universe, galaxy is just like the Milky Way, isn't it? That's why it's called the Milky Way galaxy. But I think there has to be aliens. There has to be some just kicking about in the big Hadron supercluster or whatever it's called. There just has to be. There's no way that we're the only people kicking about in the universe. There's definitely going to be alien people with their MP4 players and skateboards in 2025, wearing only shorts and thongs. They just have to exist. There's just no way that they don't exist.